Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is September 4th, 2014. My name is Nick Santiago. Today I'm going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures as usual. And the futures are flying high this morning after the ECB came out with another type of easing program. So you may want to read the fine line about this, but it looks like the ECB cut rates by 10 basis points. They send the deposit rate further into negative territory. This means that the banks will have to pay money to keep them on the books, to keep their money on the books. So again, this is they're trying to spur lending over there, but apparently the market is viewing this as a positive sign. Maybe once the market opens, they'll review it as a negative sign. But right now, markets are higher. That's all that matters. We don't really care what the news is. We just want to follow the charts and do whatever the charts tell us to do. Right now, the futures are pushing higher. I think ultimately this is a real negative out there, telling you how weak the European market really is. But either way, markets are higher ahead of the opening bell, and that's what you have to respect. Also, now, if you take a look at the euro, you're going to see that the euro is falling further. Euro is moving lower. That means the US dollar index is moving higher, and we know when the US dollar index moves higher, and this is sharply higher as soon as this comes up. So this is a big move for the US dollar index. That's up significantly today. When the US dollar index is higher, that also means that the dollar yen will be higher, and when dollar yen moves up, that's a positive for the market. If this dollar yen starts to move down, then that will become a negative. So keep the dollar yen on the radar today. It is by far the most important currency pair that you could follow, not the euro, the dollar yen. So we'll see how that shakes out. You could already see a little bit of selling taking place here, but nonetheless, dollar yen has just been screaming, roaring, and soaring. But now it is starting to taper off a little bit. If dollar yen starts to come down, that ultimately will be a negative for the futures and for the S&P 500. Remember, that carry trade is where all the liquidity comes from to put money into the S&P 500. So we'll see how that all shakes out going forward, and we'll see where it takes us. In the meantime, there are a lot of stocks out here that we can look at today. We're going to talk about Tibco Software first. TIBX is the ticker symbol. It looks like this company is putting themselves up for sale, looking to get they're strategically looking at their options, so they call it. But they hired Goldman Sachs to basically find them a buyer, private equity firm or something to take them over. The stock's getting a good reaction today. I don't think there's a lot more upside from here, so be very careful with Tibco. Again, I'm seeing a lot of resistance around the $22.75 to $24 level. So I guess if you own the stock, you just trail your stop loss. They put themselves up for sale. We've seen that a lot lately. Rackspace has done that. PetSmart has done that. A lot of companies have recently done that their share price just isn't doing all that well in this type of environment, so they look like they say they want to go private. But we'll see how that plays out a little bit later. But again, I don't see a lot of upside from here, so be very careful with this one. Let's take a look at PVH. PVH Corp, soaring and roaring. This is a company that makes Tommy Hilfiger brands and Calvin Klein. Good little pop here. I see a lot of resistance right now around 128.5, 128.25. So do not look for more upside there. If you're aggressive, you actually can probably look to scalp short PVH around the 128.5 level. So if it gets up there, watch that area. That should be excellent resistance today. Let's take a look at SINA Corp. I'm going to have gap levels for this one in the chat room today. SINA Corp getting hit pretty decently. Stock closed at $20.46 yesterday. Traded down all the way down here before rebounding a little bit back up towards the 1910 level. But nonetheless, stock is down decently today. I will have gap levels for you in the chat room. They'll be posted up at 9 a.m. Let's take a look at good old Yum Brands. Yum Brands came out with news. I think they said something about their numbers are going to be pretty weak, or they expect a 13% drop in same-store sales in China for its third quarter. I don't know what to make out of it, but all I could do is look at the stock, and right now the stock looks pretty weak to me. It's trading around 69.60, closed at 71.48. So again, the only level I really can see right now for this company would be a little bit lower. You have a big support level around $65. If it gets there, there could be a bounce today. So watch the $65 area for Yum Brands if it does trade down there. I'm not sure it will do that. Stock is already rebounding up a little bit, so the institutions look like they're coming in to save it. But today, the only level I'm seeing right now would be around $65. If it did trade down there, that would give you some type of a bounce. Let's take a look at GPro. This is GoPro. This is the camera maker that clicks onto your helmets and your surfboards. Stock has been on fire as of late, but today stock is getting hit a little bit. It moved parabolic. It was way overbought, way extended. Traded all the way up to $57 yesterday, but today it is trading down around $54.70. It looks like it was downgraded by JP Morgan. This might be the first time in my lifetime that I've ever agreed with a downgrade from JP Morgan. So good job to them finally, but to downgrade something at a high is a rare event. So first time I've ever agreed with them, but nonetheless, JP Morgan downgrading GoPro at this level. Let's take a look at Joy Global. Ticker symbol is JOY. Joy Global is right now trading at 61.35. It was lower earlier. It closed at 62.20. I believe they had numbers as well that were not so great. So just realize Joy Global, I believe, missed their estimates by 4 cents or whatever it might have been. Who cares about the number? Point is, where can we find a bounce in this stock? I have two levels for you today on Joy Global. One is going to be at $59.65. The other level is going to be at $56.20. Both are scalp levels to the long side for Joy Global today. So keep that on the radar. Next one I'm going to look at here is H&R Block. Ticker symbol is HRB. They missed numbers as well, but the market likes whatever they said. So stock is trading up a little bit. Right now it's trading at $34.17. The big level I have for H&R Block today would be around $35.15 to $35.25. I don't see the stock getting above that level. So potential little scalp level at $35.25. We'll see if it does get up there today. Next one on my list here is this SCVL. I never traded this one before. SCVL. It's a light volume name. This is called Shoe Carnival. The only level that would even interest me at this stock would be around $18.10, $18.15. There's really nothing else beforehand on this Shoe Carnival, so be careful. This is a very light volume name. It rarely trades 250,000 shares a day. In fact, it only trades around 89, 90,000 shares a day, so be very careful with this. But the stock is trading down significantly. It closed at $22.16. Now it's trading at $20.24. So that's a pretty big decline today. And again, I don't see any real support here until it gets down to around $18.15. Let's take a look at the gold market. Gold is getting hit a little bit today, only down about 70 cents on gold futures to around $12.69, $12.70 per ounce. Let's take a look at the GLD, see how that's holding up today. GLD is trading around 121.96. I don't think there's much we could do with the gold market right now. We'll let it pull back a little bit more, or we'll let it give us a pattern, but there really is no play at this point in time. Crude oil, which has been up and down like a yo-yo the last 3 days, is down again today. It's down $1.19 to $94.34. Let's go to the USO, which is a good proxy for trading light sweet crude, and that's trading at around 34.25. It closed at 35.55 yesterday. So again, the only level I really even see that would entice me would be around 33.85. So that's got a long way to go down. I don't really see a lot of strength in the USO or in crude, but it's going to be a choppy, volatile play either way throughout the day. All right, let's just take a quick review of the futures again. Futures have come off the highs a little bit. They're now up about 6 points. When we started this broadcast, they were up about 8 points. So you can see the futures coming off the highs. Remember this trick. Keep an eye right here. Dollar yen. If dollar yen starts to give way and starts to fall, spiders are most likely going to follow suit. And if the dollar yen falls, spiders will fall. That's the way it works. Keep an eye on that dollar yen chart today. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. I know everybody's going to be fooled into thinking that the euro is where it's at, but it's not. Watch that dollar yen chart. That's the carry trade that fuels the stock market. With that being said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and we will see you on the charts.